Hello, my crafty friends. Teah Woodward here from Stamp with Teah, and I am an independent demonstrator located in Vancouver, Washington. Whew, had to think about that for a second. So I'm just going to look over here for half a second while I refresh the page and make sure that the live it's coming up just fine. That's what I needed to know. All right, so today is day 4 of me coming to you with what I'm calling a catalog launch party. And the reason I'm doing it mid-month, even though the catalog started at the very beginning of July, is I wasn't able to execute a catalog launch party at that time. I had, hi Andy, yay, thank you for joining me. I wasn't able to execute. I had a whole bunch of life things happening, and so the earliest I could do a catalog launch was on Monday, and I decided to, instead of doing like 2.5 hour event, I stretched it out over 4 days, and I've made samples for just about everything that I've got. There's one stamp set that I wasn't able to make a sample for, and it's because I just got the stamp set yesterday, but I do have a tip or a trick to show you with that set, so it's not wasted, shall we say that. I do have lots of samples to show you today. I have 2 demonstrations that I'm going to give you. Yesterday I gave you 3, and then I have an overview of everything that I've shown you this week. That'll be quick. But let's see, what do I need to tell you really quick? I need to tell you that there is a joining special. I've been talking about it for the last 3 days, so I'm not going to show you absolutely everything like I have been, but I will show you that above and beyond, excuse me, we had some unexpected craziness here in our apartment this morning, and it really kicked up some dust from the back of a closet. It was an unexpected situation, and dust is one of my worst allergies, so I've got allergy pills in me. I've got, anyway, so excuse the cough. I've got cough drops here. Anyway, joining special for $99. You get $125 worth of product of your choice, free shipping on that order, a free paper pumpkin, and this planner set. And it's massive. It's huge. The planner's really pretty. Let's see if I can get that. My light's kind of bright for the white portion of this, but it's real pretty. It is totally customizable. It's got a magnet clasp. There's a place to put a pen. There's a little notebook in here. It comes with 3 of these notebooks. One is lined, one has dotted grid, and the other is blank, so perfect for designing, all of them. And then there are the months 1 through 12. Then there's all different kinds of ways of putting this together. So you can bullet journal, you can put together a daily planner, you can set goals. There's pages in here for setting goals, and then see, I've also put my business cards in here. So anyway, this is a really cool deal. So all of this is what doesn't fit in here because it's customizable. So this is just what I chose not to put in. And then there's a stamp set that goes with for, I think this is really appropriate for bullet journaling. So I am going to set that aside, and then I'm going to jump right in, and I'm going to do an overview of the 3 make and takes that I've, boy, I'm really having a problem. The 3 make and takes that I've previously shown you that I'm going, okay. purchase of $50 or more anytime in the month of July, you're going to get 4 make and takes from me. Each day this week I've been releasing one of the designs. Today I will release the 4th design. So I'm going to show you the first 3, and then I'm going to slide in that 4th one to show you what I've got going on. Whew, sorry about that. And that, my friends, I believe is everything that I need to tell you about in advance. Yeah. So I'm going to turn the camera down. It's what I get for being all hyped up. Also, my day got a little thrown off. I was not planning on my husband being home, and he is. He surprised me yesterday and said, I got tomorrow off. I was like, oh, that's nice, honey. I've got plans. So, that's just how that goes, right? Okay. Oh, you've got a sneak peek there. Let me move that out of the view of the camera. Goodness, that was, there we go. Got my hair pulled back. So here are the 3 make and takes that I've shown you so far. And here, so this one is Hello Harvest. This one uses a lot of the designer series paper, and then I cannot send any stamped images. So what I would have to send you is a piece of cardstock big enough for you to do your own stamp and your own sentiment. But really, any sentiment that you have will work really well on here. And then I also send you the designer series paper that I've used on the inside. Then I would send you a blank, one of the liners, and then you can decorate that however you want to. So that's card number, and I send you the gems as well. That was card number 1. Card number 2 is from Lights Aglow, and I can die cut the tree. There's another layer behind it of glimmer paper so that the glimmer shows through. There's some little ornaments. There are some gems on here. Then this is a piece of designer series paper, and then your cardstock. I can send you all of that just like you see it. What was I going to point out? Oh, the bow. I send you your bow pre-made with a glue dot on the back. Here I would have to send you, instead of die cutting something and then maybe your greeting not fitting on it, I would send you a piece of cardstock big enough to stamp your own greeting, and then for you to die cut it, just like I mentioned on the first card. And then on the inside I would send you the liner without any stamping, of course. Then day number 3 was from the Gingham Cottage collection. This is from the Cottage Wreaths dies from the bundle. I pulled the sentiment from there as well. This is the coordinating designer series paper. So for this make and take, I would send you the 2 layers of die cut wreath. This bow is made out of 2 bows. I would send you this little piece here for the hanger. I would send you this piece of designer series paper. I would probably not cut the notch out for you. I will let you do that yourself, but this will be plenty big for you to do it yourself. I would send you these gems. Now these red dots are I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's new to us. I'm going to look it up real quick. Comes in a little paint bottle, and I will not be able to apply that for you. And it is right there. It is called Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics. So it's this here. It comes in 3 bottles. So my wreath has these red dots on it. If you have maybe some red gems you want to put on there or something like that, then that would work really well. But I'll send you these antiqued gems that I used on the other portion of my card. I will send you a piece of cardstock big enough to make a sentiment banner here. This layer is embossed with the Timber 3D embossing folder. You will receive that embossed, and then a blank piece of liner that you can stamp and decorate as you wish. And then today, the 4th make and take is from the Perched in a Tree. bundle. And let's see, how do I want to say this? Okay, so this background paper here, this is actually from Sale A Bration, so I will send you that piece, the mat that's underneath it, your cardstock cut and scored, this piece of natural woven ribbon, a piece of cardstock big enough to stamp a sentiment. There are 3 gems on here. I'm not sure that you can see them. They're these antiqued brass. And then I would have to send you, because I can't send a stamped image, so I would have to send you the circle, and you would have to put your own image on there. Oh, and then this one I don't have a liner, but the one I'm going to demonstrate for you will have a liner, so you'll see what that liner comes in looking like. So those are the 4 make and takes that if there's an order placed for $50 or more during the month of July, I will send you these as a thank you, thank you, thank you from Teah. So I'm going to set these aside, and we're going to make this card right now. As per the last few days, I did pre-stamp and die cut. Now you might have noticed that my bird is a little lighter blue than the birds in the paper. I tried to copy the birds in the paper. I did not use watercolors. I was just using my blender pens, and to be honest, I was trying to be in a little bit of a hurry, and I shouldn't have been, but I was. So I tried doing it, and I felt like it was much too dark, much too contrasty. It didn't give the look that I wanted. So I've changed it to this. I'm actually using balmy blue here. So anyway, just wanted to say, yes, I know that this does not match those birds, but my first attempt, watercolor would probably be the best. I just didn't have time when I was throwing these together. This is one of the stamp sets that also came yesterday. So I've literally been hustle, hustle, hustle. Okay, so my card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. None of these last few days has been about me showing any fun folds or anything like that. It's purely been me introducing the stamp sets or the bundles. So that's why everything has had the exact same card base. Then I have a mat of 4 by 5 1/4, and then I think I accidentally cut this one a little bit. Yeah, I did. A little bit smaller than that one. So this one has a slightly bigger perimeter on it. This was 4 by 5 1/4, so then this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 by 5. So we're just going to adhere that straight up. There are some, that's what I haven't. I didn't show you the stamp set yet. I will do that right now. Let me adhere this and I will pull that stamp. I did the same thing yesterday, didn't I? I got ahead of myself. I've used the liquid adhesive or multi-purpose adhesive because I like to have time to wiggle it into place. All right, let me set that aside. Here we go. So this is the Perched in a Tree. And there are 4 sentiments, really nice. I really loved this Let Heaven and Nature Sing, but I had already cut my bird out in a circle and I was having problem making that look balanced over here, so I ended up going with something else that I could strip cut. And I really liked this sing because it was a bird, so I ended up pulling from another stamp set just a note, you know, like a songbird note. Anyway, So that's why I didn't use a sentiment from here. It was purely because I didn't think out my placement and shape of my sentiment prior to establishing my bird. Now with this beautiful, beautiful set come these dies. And you'll see this die cuts out this branch. This die, excuse me, cuts out the bird here. This cuts out some like tree foliage. We've got the two, I'm going to call those birch, those might be aspen tree leaves. I'm going to take a sip real quick. Excuse me. And then these cut out, I guess that is birch. And I'm going to show you why I say that. I have two other samples. I don't normally show you the samples until after I've made the card, but I'm going to go ahead and show it to you because I received these yesterday. I was part of a really awesome group of people that swapped for the new catalog. And this background die, darn it, I'm going to cough again. Excuse me, I'm going to use a cough drop. Anyway, this background die cut this out of this white paper. Isn't that beautiful? And then these two leaves cut and does this embossing. So that's one card that's I have to show you from here. And I'm going to stick a cough drop in real quick. Then I also received this other card. And here they've used part of, so they've used the bird obviously. Here's the tree foliage, and here they've used part of this background die. So just part of it, and then they put that foliage on top. I want to give recognition to who made these. So this one was made by Roz Wolf. And this one was made by Kathy Strange. I might be mispronouncing that. Both of these people are brand new to me. So anyway, those are two extra samples I have of this set. Yeah, they're really pretty, aren't they? Yep. And I'm trying to remember the name of this designer series paper, but this is one of the designer series paper from the annual catalog. I've got to take a second to put these in the plastic with their name tags in case I use them again. I want to be sure I always give proper credit. There we go. So anyway, there are the dies. This is the bundle, and I think it's gorgeous. This paper that I'm using is actually, and I'm going to show this to you in a little bit, but it's part of one of the Sale A Bration papers. Whew, couldn't find. This is from the Rings of Love 12 by 12 designer series paper. And I'm going to show you something else about this a little bit later. But just so you know, that's where this paper came from. So technically I'm showing you something from the holiday catalog and something from the Sale A Bration. All right, let me set all this aside again. I did exactly the same thing yesterday, got ahead of myself. I've got so much in my head that I'm trying to not forget to say. All right. I have pre-stamped and pre-cut my circle. I am going to use Light Daffodil Delight on the belly of this sweet bird. And I'm just going to go in and just color it all in. I like to give it a nice base of color. And then I'm going to, actually I'm not going to use the dark. I'm going to go back over it again with the bullet tip right around the edges, and I'm still using the light. I'm trying to do is darken that. It looks like, looks like maybe I do need to use the dark. I didn't on the other one, but these are brand new pens. And with my sample, I was using old pens. All right, I'm just giving that just a little bit of shadow. And I'm going to come back in and just blend that shadow ever so gently. So my husband and I leave tomorrow morning for Utah. I will be back on Monday. I will be back on Sunday and here on Monday for a Facebook Live. All right, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to color in with light balmy blue all of the rest of the feathering. It's my mother-in-law's 90th birthday. Actually, her birthday is next week, but this weekend is when we could get everybody together. My husband has 5 siblings, so there's 6 of them. The party is actually on my husband's birthday. Coloring out in front of you, like I'm holding my arms at least 18 inches away from me so that I'm doing this under the camera. All right, so I've got my first layer of color on for the blue. Now I'm going to use the bullet tip of the dark balmy blue, and I'm just going to hit a few highlights on these tail feathers. Feathers underneath here. I'm going to kind of use a dotted line. I'm not drawing a line to add a little bit of a shadow there. Same thing here. I'm just doing point, 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 point. Then I'm going to come back in with the brush tip and carefully blend in. So it'll be nice to see my husband's family. Trying to remember when we were last in Utah. It's been a hot minute. Oh, I think the last time we were there was for my father-in-law's funeral, now that I think about it. All right. So that is now colored in. I am going to use the light Daffodil Delight to color in the beak. And then I'm going to use the dark Daffodil Delight, the bullet tip, to color in these feet. All right, our bird is colored. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to attach a piece of, thank you, Andy, I appreciate that. Oh, thank you for sharing. Oh, I need that so, so badly. I'm trying so hard to build my business, and sharing is absolutely one of the best ways we can get me some visibility. Now, some people like to wrap their ribbon all the way around and tie it or something like that. I don't have a bow on here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the two ends, and I'm going to attach it using some tape on the back, nice and flat. Let's see. So I've been letting everybody know that next week I will be live on Monday, and we'll be live on Wednesday. I will not be live on Thursday. This whole month is, my whole schedule is off. Then the following week, I am having the procedure finally on my back. And so I will not have any lives on the last week of July, but I, with any luck, will have been able to prepare something ahead of time that we can, like a video or something. Looking for my dimensionals. Let's see. So I'm going to put 2 towards the top and 2 towards the bottom. And I'm going to leave, I'm not going to try to put anything over that ribbon. All right, so now she's sitting just about right. Isn't she pretty? I think she's pretty. And I know it's usually the boys that get all the pretty colors, but she, I'm going to call her a girl. I like her eyelashes. Okay. I cut a few of these just in case I needed more than one. Hopefully I won't. Like I mentioned, I picked just a note because in my mind it's a songbird. And I might have to pull this a little closer to me to see if I can get this straight. Not straight. Let me try this again. I bet that's off. It's off. One more. Ta-da! We're going to call that one good. Before I throw the others away, though, I'm going to go ahead and do the, I think it's called a banner cut, for which I am using my I'm trying to remember the name. I always forget the name of this. Pick a banner punch, or I think it is called Pick a Banner Punch. And for this is too short for me to reach into the back. So I'm going to use, I took a piece of Post-it tape, I tore it down the center, kept it sticky on one end, folded the other side over on the bottom so that I had something to hold on to. Now I'm going for this pointed, so I'm going to stick this in, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over so that I can tell that I'm centered. And then we'll do the same thing again. Now I wanted, I had somebody contact me yesterday and asked if I was feeling okay, because the designs of the cards that I've been showing are so different than what I normally do. And the answer to that question is yes, I'm feeling fine. Thank you so much. The purpose of these demonstrations were not for me to show you a bunch of new wonderful folds. It was for me to introduce the stamp sets or the products. So if anything looks different or unusual than what you're used to getting from me, that's why. This is literally me introducing product. Okay, so you'll see I made it one thick on the dimensionals, one thick on one side, double thick on the other. That's because there's already a set of dimensionals behind this, and it's going to overlap. So I made it a single layer thick where it's going to overlap onto the birdie, and double layer thick where it's hanging off of the bird. So there, we've now got our sentiment on there. Now I can safely throw those away. Now I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this because, well, I like to lift my cards up. That's just how I roll. Let's see, what else can I tell you? The new paper pumpkin, it looks like is going to be beautiful. It is sunflowers. You have until August 10th to subscribe for either 1 month or more months. That, you know, that's something that I could tell you is with this Sale A Bration flyer, I've been talking for days about how you can earn the free goodies. But you don't have to order out of just the new mini catalog. You can order out of it off of anything online, of the Sale A Bration or of the Stampin' Up website. All of it qualifies. Let me see. Look at that. Oh, little crooked, little crooked. I felt my finger hit the edge of the card base. That's gonna be twisted here. Come on, there we go. Now I should be able to fix it. So there is the front. This is how we're going to decorate the liner. I took a piece of the designer series paper and I cut it to, I think this was a 1/2 inch. It looks like I cut it too long, that's okay. And I cut it vertically. Going to place that just about 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the liner. Grab my paper snips and just trim off that little bit of excess. Adhere this to a mat. Something sticky on the front. I'll need to check that out. Isn't that a sweet little liner? I think that's pretty. Now, where did I find? Right there. So I have a rubber eraser. That picks up adhesive. All gone. It must be on my finger. There we go. Yeah, That's all good. No, I feel some right there. Suspicious. The reason I'm taking the time to do this, even though you can't see it, is because once I put that liner in, I want this card to be able to open again, right? So once again, oops, this is card number 4, make and take number 4, place an order of $50 or more, and I will send you all 4 make and takes that I've presented this week. So let me show that to you again in just a second. See, look at how, that's beautiful. Sweet, sweet card. Okay. Hi, Polly. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, so here are the 4 make and takes. With a purchase of $50 or more, I will send you what you need to make these cards other than any stamp sets. I cannot send any stamped images. And things like this or this, I won't do the die cutting for you. I'll send you a piece of cardstock to create your own from what you already have on hand. So there are those. Now let me show you one more little card. And this one is just a quickie little demonstration, but oh, and you know what? I forgot to put the gems on here. Let's do that. I am using the Rustic Metallic Adhesive Backed Dots. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, just it was kind of fun to have. Really, I think they're actually all quite different from each other. I did notice that with the first 3 that I was a bit darker than I normally go. I'm going to put one here. Now, with my sample card, I used all small, but I think on this I'm going to use, and this is what I'll send everybody, I'll use 2 large and 1 small. There we go. Because now they show up a bit better than those do. All right. So next I'm going to make a Christmas card from, it's a simple Christmas card from a paper that is in the back of the mini catalog that you can order if you host a party or if you have a large enough qualifying personal order. So first let me show you the paper. I am not going to go through it page by page, just like the last few days. I recommend, sorry, I'm trying to get this ribbon out of my way. I recommend that you go online, you look up the designer series paper name, and you click through and you see the big screen of each of the prints. The name of the paper is Celebrate Everything. It's 12 by 12 inches, and there are, I'm double checking, I think there's 48 sheets in here. There are 48 sheets in here. So, when it says Celebrate Everything, there is a little, okay, now I've got things turned upside down, but there's pumpkins, there's ornaments, there's Christmas candy, there's a wood grain, obviously a rainbow, polka dots, there are some fireworks, there's some autumn leaves, there's some pumpkins, let's see, some plaids. I mean, there is just a ton of stuff in here. And then the other side, there's even some black and white Christmas trees. And then the other side is, oh, I might have already had some of these flipped, but nice complementary designs. So go online, look it up. But what you need to know right now that I'm going to show you is this is such a quick demonstration, but I bet you like it. You need that paper in your life? Yeah, there's some really great stuff in there. Look at this. All is merry and bright. Isn't that pretty? It's just cute as a bug's ear. And I'm going to show you how to make that. Let's see. We're going to start with a card base that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This would actually be a pretty quick Christmas card if you needed to do en masse. Like last year I did 144 Christmas cards. This piece, I'm going to double check my measurement. Let's see, where's my ruler? I'm pretty sure that this is 3 3/4 by 5, but I'm going to double check that. Yep, 3 3/4 by 5. Then I've strip cut. Oh, I got them out of order. Gonna have to put those back in order. Let's see. That goes like that, goes like that. And this, before I cut it apart, was 4 3/4 by 3 3/8, and then each strip is 1 1/8 inches wide. So all I'm going to do is put a little bit of adhesive on the back of these. Here I'm using Poppy Parade and Granny Apple Green. Oh, that's awesome, Andy. You love that card? Oh, this card here? It's cute, huh? Yeah, I think it's cute. Let's see. Wiggle these into place. That looks about right. Maybe just a skosh lower. There we go. And then I'm going to put this one in place, and then I'll place the center one. I do that so I don't want to place this one and then go to place this one and be off the edge or have a bunch of edge left over or something like that. This card is so easy. You're going to think, why is she demonstrating that? Because I want you to see this paper. So let me double check. I'm pretty sure you can order this paper with, if you have a minimum order of $150. Let me see. Yep, $150, and then it is $18 for the 48 pages. It's a pretty good deal. Let's see, what else can I tell you? We had a nice cool day in Vancouver, Washington, USA yesterday. And last night was one of the best nights of sleep. Well, it was the best night of sleep I've had since I retired, which for some reason has really messed with my sleep. I cannot figure out why, but it has. There we go. So those are all placed with just a little bit of a peekaboo around them. Thank you, Polly. It's just cute and bright and cheery. Why did I do that? Well, I'm going to roll with it now. On this one, I used dimensionals underneath my mat, which is, everybody knows I normally do, but for some reason I just put adhesive on there. So I'm going to roll with it, and I'm going to just adhere it flat down. That's about right. Okay. Set that aside for just a minute. Bring back in my Stampin' mat, my Stampin' Pierce mat. Piercing, yeah. And pre-cut my circle. And now, because this paper is not associated with a specific stamp set, I have pulled my sentiment from Brightest Glow. It has all these really cool ones. Well, I loved this font here. I thought it kind of went with this paper. All is merry and bright, but 'Tis the Season would have worked. Joy would have worked. Really, any of this would have worked. And now, one moment, need to grab my Granny Apple Green ink, which thankfully is only 2 steps behind me. All of my ink is. All right. So I just need to center that. I'd say I did all right. Let me clean that off. All right, I'm going to now adhere this to so I cut this out with the layering circles dies. In the layering circles, they also have these coordinating scalloped dies, and I cut that out of the Poppy Parade. Ooh, for a second I thought I had the wrong color there. It's not though. And layer that right on. Wiggle that into place. Give that a little press. I'm going to throw 3 dimensionals on the back. I am going to make sure I have my sentiment level, and I'm going to center this over this cut line. I could raise it up, I could lower it. I'm going to leave it right there. All right, next I am going to tie a double bow. So I'm using the metallic woven ribbon. This is in what they're calling Parakeet Party, but I thought it went really well with the Granny Apple Green. Normally I use my bow maker, but I have found this ribbon to be kind of, it moves a lot. It's wiggly. So I'm relying on the feel of my fingers instead of the, there we go, the accuracy of my bow maker. I'm concentrating, can you tell? Andy, if you're still on here, I bet you are, I shipped your take your pick tool set to you. So you should get that probably early next week, if not earlier. Okay, Okay, mini glue dots, mini glue dots. Here they are. And so you're going to put this paper on your order? Yay! Good, I'm glad. Yes, I just received it yesterday, so I'm sorry that it didn't go out sooner. I don't know why that particular order took so long to come in. That's what the same order that these other things that I was wanting to demonstrate were on. Okay, so I've got a double bow on here. Now I'm going to use, because I wanted a little bit more bling than just that ribbon, so I'm going to use the red rhinestone basic jewels. Well, Andy, you certainly earned it, so I appreciate it so much. And I'm going to throw them right in the middle of some of these ornaments. Oh, let's see. Is that one too low? Nah, it's not too low. Here, I could put it here. I don't like that placement. Maybe here or here. That's not too bad. So there is our card front. Now we need to make the liner, which is quick as well. Takes just a little bit of fussy cutting, not much. Get all my bits and pieces put away here. All right, here's my card liner. But to decorate it, well, let's see. I had a piece of paper. Where did it go? I'm looking to see if did I accidentally toss it? I did accidentally toss it. I had saved this. And so there's multiple ornaments here that I could pick from to cut out and hang from this corner like I did this one here. Let's see. I could go with the blue. Excuse me. This one is cut just a little too close to the edge, so I'm going to go for this blue. And take another sip. Alrighty. And because the background of this paper is white, it really kind of hides. If you don't get an exact perfect perimeter around your ornament, it's going to be okay. I mean, you always want to do your best work, but... And this might not be what somebody wants to do. You know, maybe they would want to cut a 1-inch strip and put it across the top that showed the ornaments, multiple ornaments in multiple colors. Or maybe you have a stamp set that has some ornaments. Trying to decide let's see, I'm just going to blunt cut that across the top. The one that I had earlier had a little string dotted in there. This one doesn't. Let's see. That's going to look good. So I just need to put some adhesive on the back of that. And then when I'm done with this card, I have some things to share with you. Oh, yeah, I've got a bunch more to share with you. But this is the last card that I'll demonstrate. let's see, do I have that straight? Almost. There we go. All right, so there is that. Now we will adhere that in here. And if a person had the time and the inclination, you could cut a couple or a few and have them dangle down at different heights. I think this gives you the idea of the possibilities. There we go. Ta-da! Card number 2. All right. So that, my friends, is the last of the cards that I'm going to demonstrate. I'm just going to throw a few things over here to the side and kind of clear my space so I can bring over more goodies. Okay, goodness gracious. So, I don't want to lose track. There we go. Lose track of everything. All right, so I just shared with you from this card that this paper came from a Sale A Bration item that was called, I think it's called Rings of Love. Yes, Rings of Love. You can get that paper, this bundle of paper, there's 12 sheets of 12 by 12 designer series paper for free with a $50 purchase. Now, let me show you that paper. And again, you can see the patterns. Oh, by the way. Oh, ho, ho, that would be amazing. That would be super awesome. I'm trying to hit see more so I can see the rest of what you've said. Sorry, I am. Okay, it's not letting me see the rest of what you've said, but I see it says now that she has moved out, she doesn't want. Funny Facebook. Okay, so here is the Rings of Love. And, you know, I don't know why anybody wouldn't be a hobby demonstrator for the discount at least. So there are these beautiful, beautiful papers, right? This one kind of looks like poinsettias. This one has mushrooms and some foliage. There's a neighborhood of houses. There's the bird paper. There is these lovely floral. And then there's this autumn paper. I'm going to flip this over. There's a reason I'm showing this to you page by page. Then there are these trees with no leaves on them. And then there is this page. Well, actually, I'm going to show you that one last so that I just show you the rest of these super quick. These are beautiful, 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 beautiful images. Okay. Now, the one stamp set that I did not get to make a sample of that I just received yesterday was the Ringed with Nature, which definitely coordinates back to this paper. With the Ringed with Nature, there is this stamp set that has, there's the houses, there's the mushrooms, there's acorns, there's that poinsettia. Here are the like these tree, the cut. Yeah, anyway, the wood. Hi, Sonia. Hello. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is a real nice stamp set, photopolymer. Then also is what's called a hybrid embossing folder. So with this hybrid embossing folder, there is your regular embossing folder, and you can see in there, see those same rings like we're seeing here. And there are these dies. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you was that this die cuts out, see if I've got this going the right direction. I don't. Okay, let me find it. There it is. It cuts out the designer series paper. And if you so desired, not only does it cut it out, but you can emboss it so that the rings are dimensional on here. These fit right in here. So one of the things you can do is you can die cut and emboss at the same time. That's what makes it a hybrid embossing folder. You can also, if you wanted to, if you only needed one of these, see if I can pick the right one. Let's see, somewhere, one of these. I wonder if these don't cut these. So it looks like these don't. Okay. Well, this was my biggie find anyway. Was that you could cut these with this in one swoop and emboss them in the hybrid embossing folder. Also included are some other detail dies. So there's mushrooms, or you can turn that into an acorn. There are leaves. So these must be for cutting out individual pieces, and maybe you emboss those. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, my friends. I'm so sorry. If it sounds like I don't know what I'm doing, it's because I just got this. Let's see if I can put this back here. I don't even have it in a magnet yet. As you know, I like to store all my things in a magnet, my dies in a magnet, and I don't have it yet. All right. So that is what I wanted to share with you regarding this paper. The Ringed with Nature bundle excuse me, sounds like it. Time for another sip. Ringed with Nature is on page 62 of the mini catalog. There we go. So it shows like kind of a woodsy theme here, or it shows the mushrooms and there's a piece of the wood. There's the house with maybe some acorns. So there are options. Let me put all this away. I have samples to show you of other things. So the next thing I'm going to show you is also from the Sale A Bration flyer. I got things a little out of order. I've got one more thing from the mini catalog, and then one more thing from the Sale A Bration flyer. So this sample here I made using the Wonderful World, well, I didn't use the stamp set on this, but I used the designer series paper. They come as a bundle. For a $100 purchase, you get this stamp set and this designer series paper that have these beautiful florals in pinks and purples and yellows. There's some green in here. Beautiful, beautiful. So this bundle together you can get for free with a $100 purchase. What I did, and there's no sentiments in this stamp set, so I pulled from the Go-To Greetings. I to cut these out, I used my postage stamp punch on this paper, and you can literally see where I punched it out. Pretty cool? And then the inside, that's all I did. And I just thought that made a sweet card. So that is the Wonderful World. Then I have Splendid Thoughts. And Splendid Thoughts comes with stamps, dies. There's a ribbon, which I apparently didn't pull out. And then there's this amazing designer series paper, which I'm going to go ahead and pull out. You might see a lot of shine from my ring light. One side is foils, and the other side, I see I've been using it a lot. The other side is not foil. I love this side. I love this one. It's just gorgeous. So I'm going to show you some samples real quick. Now, one of the things I should have mentioned already today, I haven't mentioned it yet, I did mention it yesterday, is that the Sale A Bration items, if there's something in here that you're falling in love with, do not wait to get it, because you're loving the rings of love since my son is a tree climber. Oh, that's cool. Yes. Thank you, ladies. If you like something, get it ASAP. This is while supplies last. So if they run out of something, they're not going to replenish it. Case in point, what I'm about to show you is something that is no longer in stock. So one of the things that was in the Sale A Bration flyer was on page 8, and it was called The Pool Party and Soft Seafoam Cards and Envelopes. And evidently these were super popular, and they coordinate really well with just about everything, but I had been using them to coordinate with the Splendid Thoughts bundle. And let me show you the Splendid Thoughts real quick. There are these dies. There's 9 stamps in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 dies. And I can show you what some of those dies look like. So for instance, this is a card that I made. See, the sending hugs. You know, I'll know that I love the word hugs. Here's the ribbon that I don't have pulled out here. This comes in this suite of products as well. This is from an event that we had as demonstrators, where somebody demonstrated different ways to use this set. So this was somebody else's design. This one was my design. This is somebody else's design. This is my spin on somebody else's design. I used the decal edge dies here, which I can't get enough of. I love. The basic layout was somebody else's, but I threw my own spin on several things. Same thing here. This was somebody else's design. They used the brick and mortar 3D embossing folder and threw a little bit of the white craft ink on here, and then threw some of the die cut and stamped images. Here are 2 of those note cards that are no longer available. They were obviously very popular because Sale A Bration goes through the end of August. So for us to run out of something so early was really quite amazing. And then here was a card that I designed using both sides of the designer series paper. So that was an example of Splendid Thoughts. And let me grab everything that I've made so far this week and do a quick overview. So we'll start with these. Okay. So today, this was the Perched in a Tree. This was mini catalog. I'm trying to remember. This is Celebrate Everything designer series paper. Then we have Cottage Wreaths, Lights Aglow, Hello Harvest, Snow Crystal. This was Perfect Pomegranate. That was one that I cased. Here was Trees for Sale, another one that I cased. This is Hippest Hippos. So there's 3 celebration items in this card. These polka dot and striped paper, it comes with silver and gold in the same pack, dots and stripes in the same pack. I cut it into strips and I used my blending brush to add the color. The hippo stamps is one item, and then the hippo dies is another item. All 3 of those items are each available with a $50 purchase. So if you wanted all 3 of those things, you would need to purchase $150 worth of product in order to earn those for free. I've actually had a lot of people contact me about that card. This one was the Snowflake Specialty Vellum. And see if you can see the snowflakes in there. This was another card from Hello Harvest. So these 2 cards that I showed you earlier, this was the card that I made for the swap. This is also Hello Harvest. So instead of using the detail dies like I did here, I used the stamped pumpkin. These were from Soft Seedling. So with here I showed you a couple of different masking techniques. And then I used the blending brush to create the colored background, and I stamped with Cajun Craze on top. This is from our Sale A Bration flyer. This is Stylish Sketches. These are figs. This is Bewitching, which I had fun making. And let's see, I think, I'm double checking. I think that is everything from this week. That's plenty, right? I hope. Well, my friends, let's see, I will pull out those 4 make and takes one more time. Set these aside. I hope that you've enjoyed this 4-day catalog launch and Sale A Bration review. I hope that I've inspired you, and I hope that I've shown you something that thank you, Andy. I love the Bewitching too. I love the colors. Oh, that's the other thing that I didn't mention is this sentiment and the I Miss You sentiment. Those are from Amazing Phrasing. Those are also from the Sale A Bration flyer. Yeah, I just love the colors. I just love the cheekiness of it. Anyway, here are the 4 make and takes. With the purchase of $50, I will send you what it takes to make these, except for any stamped images, or if a die cut is really specific to a stamp, then I won't do that either. But I will send you cardstock to make that out of what you have on hand. And with that, my friends, I am looking around to see if I have forgotten anything. I don't think I have. I think I have shown you everything. I appreciate you all so much and the time that you have given me Thank you, Polly. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate everybody spending this time with me for the last 4 days. And man, I just appreciate you all. I hope you're enjoying your summer. Please be safe, stay well. Again, I will be out of town for 3 days. I have pre-cut and packaged. If you've already made a purchase, everything is already cut and packaged and will go out in the mail today. If you haven't made a purchase, that's fine. There, you can make a purchase up through the end of July and still get these make and takes. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Big hugs, everybody. Goodbye.